join the 28-hour SQL Server Masterclass on the Udemy platform for only $15 instead of $89. Learn how to become a future developer or either a future DBA or performance expert on SQL Server with 150 exercises. The link to the promotion is in the video description. Okay? Want to get started on SQL Server? Then join me. The table scan. I will explain what a table scan is. So we're going to analyze the employee table. Let's use the good database, structured index. Employee table have a clustered index and two non-clustered index. Okay, so it takes the clustered index forwarded by a non-clustered index. We are going to activate the set statistic. I run to see how many pages we are going to read, and I have to activate the execution plan. So we are going to do a first query with the light with 2% symbol. Okay, so if that's not saggable, if you don't know what's saggable, I suggest you to get a look at the end of this course. There is a section on the saggable definition. Okay, so if I put like with 2% at the beginning and at the end, it's not saggable. So it won't take the index by default. So the like percent here percent always does a scan. Index scan. Even varies if there is an index, any kind of index. It will never do a seek on it. Okay, so that's the problem with the like percent. Okay, so SQL Server say by default when it does a scan, it will scan the whole table. Okay, here it didn't go through its index to return the data faster. It took much longer. It had exactly 4,000 pages. Okay, 4,009 pages. So let's run the next query. We are going to remove the percentage that's here, just at the beginning of the he. Okay, and let's run the query. What does the execution plan look like? We are still scanning, okay, still analyzing with the index scan, and we can see on the page read we are still at 4,000. Okay, so we are going to refine the research even more. We are going to put a real first name like Heaton. Okay, so let's go. We are still in an index scan, and in the message we have also again 4,000 pages. But SQL want to help you. We see that there is an index missing index. Okay, SQL tells us in this case why not to create this index so that it's faster to avoid reading these 4,000 pages. So why do we do an index scan? So in most cases because the query is not saggable. Okay, searchable in the first example. Okay, or a query that it's not very selective, like the second example, but also with a query that can be very selective. In the third example, you need to be as precise as possible about the number of columns you want to return, and you also need the appropriate index for your query so that it's not a scan but a seek. A seek is a search in the index. Second example, we work on a heap table without a clustered, any clustered index. Let's analyze the table employee heap, and I have only two non-clustered index. Okay, for a primary key with a non-cluster and another index non-cluster. Okay, on the employee ID column and on the SSN column. So if I run the query, and we see that are 4,000 pages and be written, and you see that the plan, execution plan, has changed. The table analysis icon, since there is no index, it had analyzed the table scan. Okay, and the icon has changed. So let's try to refine the search with and remove the percent in the like clause, and it's always the same result. Okay, table scan with the same icon and always the 4,000 pages. So we can see that there is no improvement at this level. So we going to refine it and but hit on. Let's go. And still no miracle, still in table analysis. So we see that even on the heap table, the scan is still present. Okay? There is no major difference between a table that has index clustered and another that doesn't have one. Okay? Many people believe that a scan will read all the rows of the table, which is false. We are going to scan this table, the employee table. It has not finished yet. We can see that each table has one clustered employee, has one table and one clustered index, and another non-clustered index. Okay? Simple query will take two columns, employee ID and SSN. So logically, the scan will scan all the 4,000 pages, like the other queries. And you can see that in the index scan operator, we have a index scan here. Okay? And we realize, in fact, that there are not 4,000 pages that it reads, only 210. Okay? So, that means that scanning a table does not automatically means that it scans the whole table. Okay? It may be that the scan will just scan the index sheets. Okay? So do not think that the scan reads all the pages of the table. It's not true. So let's go to the next demonstration.